Hi guys, welcome back to the Igor Hotline. Today we're going to be diving into something everybody struggles with, and that is confidence. Confidence is actually really important for our day-to-day, and it's something that most of the time people just ignore. People ignore learning confidence. People go their whole life without being confident, without knowing how to talk in the middle of a room, surrounded by a crowd of people. People will go their whole life without having confidence in themselves. And that's very hard, okay? That's like literally taking the longest route to get somewhere. Like if you're trying to go from point A to point B, it's like going on Google Maps and picking the slowest route to get there. We want the fast track, okay? It's exactly what we want. And you can get there with confidence. And I'm going to teach you how to build confidence and the science behind confidence, because that's very important. Now, before we get into today's episode, I want to tell you that confidence isn't something that you're just born with. Confidence is something that takes lots of practice, and it takes lots of time to build, and that's okay. All right, you're not going to build confidence overnight, but as long as you're trying to build it, that's something. All right, now here are the timestamps for today's episode. I really hope you guys enjoy this just as much as I did, because literally learning all this stuff and figuring all this stuff out about the brain for today's episode was so fun. Like, you guys, neuroscience is top tier, okay? Literally search it up. Learn more about it. It's crazy the amount of control your brain has over everyday functions and even things that we don't think about, like confidence, for example. Now, let's talk brain science without making things boring, because I think people honestly discredit science a lot, and people make it out to be this very boring subject and this very boring topic, when really it's not. It's just being explained wrong. Like, I think neuroscience is one of the most fascinating, forms of science there is on planet Earth. Like, prove me wrong, neuroscience is insane. Neuroscience is absolutely crazy. And today I'm going to give you guys a little dose of neuroscience because, part of becoming confident is understanding the functions that actually make you confident. So let's get right into things, all right? First, we're going to talk about neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is your brain's ability to rewire and restructure neurons in your brain, okay? Anytime your brain makes a new connection, anytime you have a different reaction, anytime you see something, anytime you make a new friend, anytime you feel certain emotions, your brain makes certain connections, all right? That's neuroplasticity, your ability to rewire and restructure neurons, but it's also in charge of making new connections, all right? So listen. This also plays into confidence, because if you talk badly about yourself, your brain is connecting neurons that make you believe that you aren't confident. It's making those new connections and it's strengthening them anytime you talk badly about yourself. And it's making you just believe that more. Okay, your brain is something that can be used to protect you, but it can also be used to sabotage you. All right? Literally, you talking badly about yourself, you are sabotaging yourself, and you are sabotaging your brain and all the amazing things that it could do to protect you. All right? So let's reframe our mindset. Let's get in front of a mirror and let's practice some daily affirmations. Daily affirmations can actually help us more than we think. Just saying simple things like "you got this" or "you're beautiful" can actually, even if we don't believe it, literally it can change our mindset. And that's crazy. Because listen, even if you don't believe it, even if you're like, dang, I'm so ugly, Like, your brain, by you saying I'm beautiful, that strengthens that connection that, says that you are beautiful. Okay? And that makes you believe it even more, which is actually kind of weird. But that's just one of the crazy functions of the brain, that you can actually convince yourself into believing something, even if you don't actually believe it. Like, that's so insane. Now, a question that is commonly brought up is, how do you rewire confidence? And my answer to that is, it's simply repetition. Okay? Going to that event, wearing that outfit that you wouldn't normally wear because you're insecure, or raising your hand in that class. Those are all small things that you can do to help you become more confident. Because listen, putting yourself in those scenarios and telling yourself it's gonna be okay is actually you rewiring your brain. Okay? Because normally in those scenarios, you may feel very anxious, you may be shaky, your heart may begin to race. Okay? Because those situations, your brain is trained to be uncomfortable in. Whereas you telling yourself, it's okay, I got this, that's you training your brain to believe that those situations are okay. That is crazy. You have the ability to change everything within your brain, okay? You have the ability to make yourself more confident. And remember, we just have to do this one step at a time. Baby steps. Now, let's talk our prefrontal cortex. This is going to be like our brain's internal leader, and it's also going to be like our brain's command center. Okay? Think back to the movie Inside Out. Think about Rory and all the emotions in her brain. Okay? They were all controlling everything, making sure she was okay. All right, and recognizing when she was feeling certain emotions. That's like our prefrontal cortex. Our prefrontal cortex controls our ability to manage our emotions, to make decisions, to think long term, and also to stay calm under pressure. All things very vital to our day-to-day. When your confidence is low, your prefrontal cortex can't perform its actions to the best of its ability, because your thoughts are constantly scattered and you are feeling lots of feelings of self-doubt, which is detrimental because your prefrontal cortex is very, very important. And when your prefrontal cortex is unregulated, you start to have feelings of everyone's judging me, I can't do this, and you shut down. Whereas when you have a regulated prefrontal cortex, you tell yourself, I am fearful of this now, but it will get better. Okay? You see the mindset change. That is the difference between an unregulated prefrontal cortex and a regulated one. Two totally different things that can have two totally separate outcomes on your life, because those are two different mindsets. Now, you may be wondering, how do I get a regulated prefrontal cortex? Now, there's multiple different things that you can do. One of them being grounding exercises. Another thing being putting yourself into uncomfortable situations. Because literally, believe it or not, that can help you. Because you are becoming used to something. Okay, it's just like moving to a new school. On the first day, you may not know anyone, and you're really nervous and you're really scared, but eventually, you kind of get your lay of the land and you become more used to things, and so you show up to school less anxious and less scared for the day. Okay, another thing that you can do is journaling. I personally love journaling. It helps a lot with regulating your emotions and understanding more about why you're feeling certain ways. Make sure you are doing this though, not really paying attention to grammar, just like literally writing everything down. Like, no organization whatsoever, writing everything. Okay, it doesn't have to be a narrative. All right, just writing everything down. That's all we care about. Okay, another thing is practicing self-regulation. So that's regulating certain feelings. When you start noticing your mindset shift and you start kind of being more negative, It's very important to recognize that and shift your mindset. So those are just some of the very many things that you can do to help have a more regulated prefrontal cortex. The amygdala controls our fear, threats, and social anxiety, all things very prominent in our everyday life, okay? Especially if you are unconfident. That's a big one right there, okay? Now listen, an unconfident amygdala constantly is taking in threats all day. The amygdala, keep in mind, serves as our brain's alarm system. It'll alarm you in more of a physical way, so that's like your hands are sweaty, your heart's racing, stuff like that, like you're shaking, all more physical things that happen to you when you have heightened anxiety. Okay, so the amygdala is constantly taking in threats all day if you are unconfident. Whereas for somebody who is confident, they're not taking in threats as much. So their amygdala is more in a calm state because your amygdala doesn't know the difference between a tiger chasing at you and someone staring at you for too long. So when you're unconfident, your amygdala is perceiving so much more threats than somebody who is confident, where they're in more of a calm state and they're not perceiving as much threats on a daily basis. Okay, when you are unconfident, you are overwhelming your amygdala because it's taking in so many threats at once and it's trying to warn you in so many ways possible that this situation is scary. Now, bringing your amygdala back to a calmer state is the same exact way you cope with your anxiety. Okay, now going on a walk can help your amygdala reach a calmer state. Same with breathing exercises, watching a comfort TV show, all things that you can do to help your anxiety and to help bring your amygdala down to a calmer state. Now, when thinking about the prefrontal cortex, inner amygdala, I want you to all connect that back to neuroplasticity and your brain's ability to rewire neurons. Okay, you can fix your amygdala and you can fix your prefrontal cortex. Okay, by feeling confident and being confident, you can change the way both of those portions of your brain work. You can rewire them. Now, I have a secret for you guys, and you guys have to promise you guys won't tell anyone. Just joking. You guys can tell as many people as your heart desires. Okay, and that secret is that confident people don't know everything. They just act like they do. Okay, confident people, they may not know absolutely everything in the book, but they, through how they act and how they present themselves, you will pretty much be convinced that they know everything in the book, okay? Because that's just how confident people appear. They act like they know things even when they don't. And that's the thing that's so crazy beautiful about confidence, okay? That it literally radiates off of you. Now, confidence isn't knowledge, it's permission, okay? It's the permission to speak before you overthink. It's the permission to take up space, to feel like you belong in a room, because you do, okay? Wherever you are at, you belong there. You shouldn't have to second guess yourself, okay? Confidence isn't second guessing yourself. It's knowing that you are meant to be where you're meant to be. And it's knowing that you will figure things out even if you don't have everything planned out to the perfect degree. You will figure things out on your timeline. Now, I want you to remember that confidence isn't something that you're born with. It is built. Okay, just like muscles, if you haven't exercised your muscles in a while, they may feel weaker, okay? However, if you're constantly exercising your muscles, they will get stronger. That's the same with your confidence, okay? The more you practice confidence, the more confident you will become. Confidence can be learned, okay? I want you to know that you are not too late to become confident. You are never too late. Just like you are never too late to learn a new skill. You're never too late to learn confidence. And confidence has so many beautiful effects on your future and how other people perceive you and how you perceive yourself. confidence is so, so, so important. Now, I want to be completely honest with you in case you don't already know this, but confident people have bad days too. And listen, confidence still does not take a break on these bad days, okay? You may have self-doubt, but confidence is still there to reframe that mindset. You know that you are better than your worst days, okay? So confidence is there to swoop in and pick you off your feet and help you back to where you want to be, okay? Confident people use days that are bad to reflect and become a better version of themselves, okay? Whereas people who just have bad days and they're unconfident, they don't really see them as a day to be better. They don't really see them as a day of reflection. They see them as a day of, oh, I'm gonna sit here, it's a terrible day, terrible weather, everything sucks, the world's gonna end, okay? Whereas confident people, they try to reframe that mindset and they try to get further away from that negativity, okay? And listen, if you are unconfident, there are so many ways that you can become confident, okay? It just takes practice, and you may not be there right away, and you may not be as confident as all your friends, okay? But that doesn't mean you're behind, or that doesn't mean you suck, or whatever it is, okay? Confidence takes time, all right? But confidence will forever shape you and change you as a person and change the way that you view other things. Now, one last thing that I want to touch base on before we wrap things up today is all around confidence, okay? Now, there's definitely lots of people who have all around confidence, but lots of people just have confidence in one area of expertise and not in the rest, okay? These all-around confident people, literally, your jaw will drop when they walk into a room. Like, they are not just confident in how they look and how they speak, but they also don't let people mess with them at all. Like, they are just untouchable. And that's exactly how you should be, because that's the most powerful way to be, okay? When you can literally just, somebody will say something bad about you and you literally will not care because you're like, I know my worth. That is another level of knowing your worth and trusting yourself, okay? You're like, I got this all the time. That is another level of confidence, and that is the confidence I want to see more often, and I think lots of people want to see more often because it's fun having your jaw on the floor for somebody when they walk in. Like, that's just crazy. Like, they have aura, okay? Like, I want to be that way. And I know so many other people want to be that way because that's just crazy. Like, the energy is just there. Like, these people, they are not just emotionally mature, they also have boundaries in place. They also know their values and they know that their voice matters. And they genuinely don't care what other people say about them because it does not affect them. Like, it does not. Like, they'll take it in, they'll listen to what you're saying, but it does not affect how they see themselves, okay? And all around confident people are also highly self-aware. Like, they understand their actions and they know what to learn from, okay? All around confident people are genuinely probably some of the most, like, mature, like, I don't know how to even describe them, but, like, they're just people who genuinely seem like they have it all, okay? And literally, that's how lots of people should be, because confidence is something that we all can build, okay? No matter how much social anxiety we have, we can all build confidence, and we can all be that baddie that walks into the room and has all the heads turned, okay? All the heads turned, jaws on the floor. Like, we can all be that person. We all have the power to become confident. And so I want you to take away from this that you can be confident too, and you are not too late to start your journey on becoming confident, okay? I also want you to know that confidence is key. Confidence is key to every little scenario in your life, and it really, confidence makes you so much calmer as an individual because you just know how to handle certain situations and you know your worth. And I think that's so, so, so important. Now, let's build some confidence and let's give our brain a little bit of a brain break because it's been working a little hard recently, okay? Now, I want you to remember that even confident people have days when they don't feel confident in themselves at all. They have days where they feel massively insecure, okay? Confidence isn't about perfection, it's about progress, okay? Having confidence is a mindset, and it's the ability to reframe your mindset. Have a great day, everyone. I love you guys all so much, and I want you to know that I'm here for you on your confidence journey. And if you have any questions or ideas for future episodes, comment down below what you want to see from the It Girl Hotline next, okay? I really am wishing you guys the best on your confidence journey, and I really hope this episode gave you some more insight on maybe why you could be feeling less confident and how to fix that mindset, okay? I hope you guys had fun learning brain functions. I hope I did a great job at explaining them to you, and I hope I made science a little bit more fun, okay? I hope you guys all have an amazing rest of your day, and I love you all so much. Make sure you guys like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of It Girl Hotline. Bye, everyone!